Hello guys and welcome back to Madfire on channel. So in this tutorial series we are going to create a simple endless traffic racer game. In this series we are going to check input system which will be used to move our player, and in our vehicle selection system endless level generation with reusing existing level pieces, vehicle selection system which will allow the player to select different vehicles, random enemy spawning, singleton concept, and more. The entire project is available on GitHub. The link will be in the description. And if you want to follow the entire series, then you can check out my Patreon page. The link will be in the description. All the videos of this series are uploaded there, and you will also get premium version of this project which has extra features in it like Facebook login, AdMob, Unity ads, Unity in-app purchase, social share, game analytics, and more. Okay, so now we need to create our enemies. So for that, we will create two new scripts. So in our scripts folder, right click and create a new C# script. And let's call this enemy controller. So this script will be responsible for controlling our enemy. Again, right click and create a new C# script, and we'll call this enemy manager. And this script will be responsible for spawning, activating and deactivating our enemy controllers. So let's double click and open them in editor. So right now there is nothing enemy controller. So our enemy manager will not be a mono behavior. It will be a non-mono behavior. Let's remove start and update method. So first we will add it in a namespace of our traffic racer. So what we have to do here is we will be spawning few number of enemies, and we will be activating and deactivating them basically. So we will need a list to store some of our deactivated enemies. So first we will create a private list of enemy controller, and we will call it deactivate enemy list. So this list will hold all the deactive enemy controller in it. Then we need a private vector3 array, and we will call this enemy spawn position, which will be equal to new vector3 array of count 3. So we know that we have three lanes and there will be only three possible spawn positions. Then we need a private game object enemy holder variable. So we will hold our reference to enemy holder game object in it. Then we need a private float move speed. So now we will create a constructor of this class. So public enemy manager, and it will take two parameters, vector3 spawn pose and float move speed. In that we will set this dot move speed is equal to move speed. Deactivate enemy list is equal to new list of enemy controller. So basically we are initializing this list. Then we are going to set our enemy spawn pose array. So enemy spawn pose at index 0 is equal to spawn pose minus vector3 dot right into 3. So consider spawn pose as the position of the center lane. So the left lane will be minus 3. Then our enemy spawn pose 1 will be equal to spawn pose, and enemy spawn pose 2 will be equal to spawn pose plus vector3 dot right into 3. So now we need to spawn our enemies as well. So we will create a new method, public void spawn enemies, and it will take a parameter of array. So game object array vehicle prefabs. Inside that we will create a for loop, and the length will be vehicle prefabs dot length. In that we will create a game object. So game object enemy is equal to object dot instantiate vehicle prefab I at a position enemy spawn pose 1, and the rotation will be quaternion dot identity. Then we set our enemy dot set active to false. We deactivate it because we are not using it right now. Then we set its parent, so enemy dot transform dot set parent enemy holder dot transform. Then we give the name to it, so enemy dot name is equal to enemy. Then we need to add a enemy controller to it, so enemy dot add component enemy controller. And then we add our enemy to our deactivate enemy list. So here we need to add the enemy controller and not the game object. So enemy dot get component enemy controller, and in our enemy manager we need to add our enemy holder. So enemy holder is equal to new game object enemy holder. So now our spawning is also ready, but we need to add some functionality to our enemy controller as well. So go to our enemy controller and let's again add this in our namespace, which is traffic racer, and this will be a mono behavior. We don't need to remove our mono behavior in this. Let's remove the start and update method. So our enemy controller will have few variables. So first will be private float move speed. Then we need reference to our enemy managers. So enemy manager, I will call this enemy manager, and let's copy our private and paste it here. Then we will create a public void set default method. Now in default method we are going to first set our speed, so float speed and enemy manager, and now we can set our remove speed is equal to speed, and our this dot enemy manager is equal to enemy manager, right? And now we need to move our enemy also. So in update, so void update, so in update we are going to transform dot translate. Now this is something similar to our level manager. So in level manager we are moving our road, so I can just copy this and paste it here, but we need to make some difference. That is, we can't make our car move with the same speed as our road, right? So we need to give some realistic feel to it. So what we will do is we will reduce our car speed. So I will multiply it into 0.8f. Now you can multiply this thing with random numbers to give more different feel, but I'm just multiplying it with 0.8. Again we need to make a check. So we check if our transform dot position dot set is less than equal to -10. So we have to check if our vehicle is no more in the vision of our player, then we can deactivate it. So here we need to call our deactivate method, which will be inside our enemy manager. So enemy manager will be responsible for activating and deactivating our enemy. So first we will create a public void uh, activate enemy. So in this method we will activate our enemy. So here we will check if our deactivate list dot count is greater than 0. That means we have some element in our deactivate list. Then we will get our game object enemy is equal to deactivate list, and we are going to randomly get it. So random dot range, and our range will be from 0 to the count. So deactivate list dot count dot game object. So we have now randomly selected the element of our deactivate enemy list. Now deactivate enemy list dot remove, so we will remove it. Now we are going to activate it, so there is no need to put it in this list. Dot get component, so we will just make sure this is not a game object but enemy controller. Let's remove this. Now we don't need to do this thing. Now we need to set its position. So enemy dot transform dot position is equal to enemy spawn pose. So enemy spawn pose, and we are going to randomly select. So random dot range, and our range goes from 0 to our enemy spawn pose dot length, and we are going to activate our enemy. So enemy dot game object dot set active to true. And if you want, we can just put this method in our enemy controller. So let's do that. And here we will just create a public void activate enemy. Now the plus point of putting a method here and calling this method is we can not just activate our enemy, but we can do other stuff as well. So let's say you want to create some effect, we can add that also. So we can just say game object dot set active to true, correct, and we will use this. So instead of game object, just call the activate enemy method. Okay, now we need one more method to deactivate. So public void deactivate enemy. So here we are just going to get pass the game object enemy, and then calling our enemy dot set active to false. So instead of passing game object, let's pass our enemy controller, and here instead of enemy dot set active, let's type enemy dot game object, and we need to add this enemy controller to our deactivate enemy list. So copy this, paste it here, dot add, and we are passing our enemy, correct. Let's go to our enemy controller, and here we can just call our enemy manager dot deactivate enemy and pass this, right. So let's go to our enemy manager. So we are instantiating, but one thing we are missing is that we need to call this set default to set our speed as well as enemy manager. So enemy dot set dot get component enemy controller, and we will call dot set default, it is a move speed as well as enemy manager, which is this. And now we need to call our spawn enemy method somewhere. So go to our level manager. In level manager, first we need to create our enemy manager. So we create a private enemy manager, and we will call this enemy manager. So and in start we will create our enemy manager. So enemy manager is equal to new enemy manager, and it takes the spawn position. So what our spawn position will be our next row spawn position, and our speed will be move speed. So instead of calling it here, we need to call it down here, because we know one thing, and that is when we reach here, our roads are already spawned, and we are passing the next road position. So that means we are passing the last road which is spawned in the game, and then we need to spawn our vehicle. So here, after we have spawned our player, we will call enemy manager dot spawn enemies, and here we will pass the array. So vehicle prefab, okay. And let's make a separate method for player spawning. So we'll call this private void spawn player. Just cut this and paste it here, and let's copy this and paste it here. Done. So level manager, when it starts, it creates the road, it creates the enemies and all those things. Okay, let's go back, click on play, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now we have spawned our enemies, and all of them are deactive. So we need to activate them. So for activating, we have not called anything. So go to our enemy manager. So here is the method called active enemy. So let's call this in our level manager. So here below we will call our enemy manager dot active enemy. So this will activate one of the enemy, and we need one more detector for the enemy. So let's go to our editor. In our level manager, right click and create an empty game object, and let's call this enemy car detector, right? And it will have a box collider on it. So let's save this, set it is trigger, and in level manager let's add a rigid body component to it, because we know if you want to check any collision or detection, we need one of the game object to have a rigid body. And I'm adding rigid body to enemy manager because I don't want all our vehicles to have the collider, because that will just increase the physics calculation, and we don't need that. We can just add one to our level manager, and that will be enough. So if I click on play, you see one car got activated. Okay, so what we do, we need more of them. So let's pause this thing. In our level manager we have this enemy car detector, so let's move it here somewhat. Okay, and let's adjust the, okay, where it is. So let's adjust its height like this, its width. So let's say its width to be 0.25, and its x to be maybe something like this, 50 will be good. Now let's copy this. Let's stop our game. Let's delete this, paste it here, and drag it here like this. Okay, now we need to detect our enemies passing through that collider. So for that, let's go down and we will create here a on trigger enter. So on trigger enter is Unity's default method, which is used to detect the two objects collision. So here we'll check if other dot get component enemy controller, then we are going to activate another enemy. So enemy manager dot activate enemy. So we know each and every enemy has an enemy controller component attached to it. So here we are directly checking for that component, and in this way we are more precise that yes, if only if enemy controller is detected, we will activate our enemy. So let's go back and let's try. So let's see. Okay, as you can see here guys, our enemies are spawning, you see. So right now our player is not detecting any collision with our enemy, but yes, our enemies are spawning, they are moving backward, our road is moving. So this gives a great illusion that our game is moving in forward. And as well as you can see here, our enemies have a speed less than our road, so it gives an illusion that they are also moving in forward direction. So I think we are done here. We have achieved most of the thing which we needed. So I will see you in the next video. So till then, thank you and goodbye.